All right, we're going to be graphing this on here. So first, we got to do negative b over 2a. So negative b, there is no b, so b is 0. 0 over 2 times 1 is 2. That's going to equal 0. So the axis of symmetry is actually the y-axis. Okay? So now if I plug 0 into this equation, right? So x squared minus 16, we plug 0 into this equation. It's going to be negative 16, right? So it's going to be negative 16, so that's all the way down here. So let's pretend these lines are 2. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. Man, I made it. I just made it. So that's where this is, right? And now we have to figure out our zeros. So we know where our zeros are. So what would make x squared minus 16 equal 0? What? Minus 16 equals 0. So we can actually solve this by adding 16 to both sides. X squared equals 16, square root, x equals positive or negative 4. So that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, and negative 1, negative 2, negative 3, negative 4. And there is our graph. Okay, now let's go to the next one. So here, negative b over 2a. Negative b is 14. 2a is 2. So we have 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right. And their y-intercept is 49, which is like ridiculously up here. So let's make a random dot over here. So let's put in 7 into the equation. This is going to be 49. So 7 times 7 is 49. Minus 7 times 14 is going to be 98 plus 49. So 49 minus 98, that's going to be negative 49 plus 49, that equals 0. So our location is 7, 0 for our vertex. That's going to be right here. And we know that the y-intercept is all the way up here. So it's going to look something like this. And then back up like that. All right. So actually, this is the only this is the only 0. So it only has one solution for this equation. So solving it by graphing. Now we're going to be solving it by factoring. One of my favorite, better ways to do it. These next 3 chapters are the way that I solve everything. So let's do this first one by factoring. So let's factor this. What 2 numbers multiply make 24, but when you subtract them, they make a 5. X and x. One of them is going to be positive. One of them is going to be negative. It's going to be a positive 8 and a negative 3. And that equals 0. So what would make this equal 0? What number could I put in here that will make this 0? If I put a 3 in here, if x equals 3, okay? If I put 3 in here, it's going to be 3 minus 3, that's 0. 0 times 11 is going to be 0. So that makes it 0. But there's another solution. What if I made this one 0? So if I put a negative 8 in this equation, negative 8 plus 8, that's going to make 0. 0 times negative 11, that's going to make 0. Boom. So these are both of the solutions. All right, now let's do some with perfect squares here. So here, we're going to solve it as well. Usually I would transfer this over here, but in this situation, we're just going to solve this really quickly because they're very simple to solve. So we're going to add 5 to both sides. That's going to leave us with x squared equals 25. I'm going to square root both sides. X equals 5. So this has 2 solutions, positive and negative 5. Because 5 times 5 will make 25, and negative 5 times negative 5 will make 25. Here, if I square root this side and square root this side, there is no solution. Okay, when you square root a negative number, there's no solution. Now here's an odd situation, one of its kind. So we subtract 8 from both sides, x squared equals 0. if I square root this one, square root this one, x equals 0. There's no positive or negative 0. So this is actually one solution. This is no solution, and this is two solutions. Okay, and that's it.